Assalamu alaikum, Madiha signing in from the platform of 101 Incredible Women of Pakistan. Let's meet Miss Kanza Malik. She is wow, simply wow. Why I've used this term? Because she is the one who is working basically for the women empowerment. She's breaking all the stereotypes. She is working at one of the leading posts in a very renowned company. She has gone to the factories, work in the field. Not only that, she is a very amazing cyclist. So let's go and ask how has she been able to manage so many work. I mean, she's been achieving so much in her life, and apart from that, she's working in the corporate sector as well. Let's go and meet her. Assalamu alaikum, Kanza.
Assalamu alaikum.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Acha, Kanza, when I was initially, I came to know that there is a young girl named Kanza and she's a cyclist. So I was wondering कि अच्छा फिर बहुत ज़्यादा athletics की तरफ you must be inclined और आपकी जो भी achievements होंगे somehow they must be related to the sports and everything. But then I realized that you have not confined it to yourself. Rather, you are working for each and every girl, whosoever is not only in your surroundings, they're watching you or whatever, you are encouraging them to come and join in so many other genres of work. How come? When you started, let's go back to your school days. At that time, did you have any idea कि अच्छा मैं बड़े होके एक बहुत बड़ी कामयाब cyclist बन जाऊँगी? I will make my name and I will be doing something which others might be reluctant to do.
That's a very interesting question. I think your thoughts about yourself and about your life really change over time as you mature, as you walk into life, right. Especially by yourself when you go out to university. So I think the best thing about my brought up is that there was no gender biases. There was no limitation to because you are a woman or because you are not a woman, you can do this much or that much or go where.
Freedom of thought, it was always.
Freedom of thought, achieve your potential, and always, I think, as a woman, it's a natural tendency to nurture wherever you are, to care for people around.
A long way back when I was a little girl and I asked my mom that I want to ride a cycle of my brother. He used to ride and he used to go out on the roads and everything. She said, no, you can't, you cannot go out on the roads, you have to use the premises of the house. And it was a very little space and I used to do it round and round the garden and all that, and I actually dreamt of going outside. So this means that you, mashallah, you're lucky to have the parents or the family setup which always encourage you to do whatever you would.
The family setup and the environment. I grew up in Saudi Arabia, so that's a little ironic. It's very ironic, but there we used to have a very safe kind of environment. So you could go out, and it was a very modern and a very, built up, clean area that we used to live in Jubail. And there were guys, girls, and I always was racing against the guys. I just wanted to be as good, and I always looked up to them because I felt they were stronger, faster. So I would climb trees, I would climb walls, and I used to get in trouble for that also. But I think there was always this, I was a little bit of a loner.
And such type of girls, they always get a lot of criticism from boys. ये लड़की है, ये कैसे करेगी?
पागल है,
कैसे सकती है?
पागल है.
क्या सोच रही है? Bullying भी होती है इस तरह के cases में sometimes. They attack you so much to make you feel that you have no right to come out.
So I think, I grew up in a British school and naturally there is that kind of a situation. But I think when you're excelling at education also, and the teachers are proud of you and everyone is proud of you, then you sort of, and everybody else around you sees that.
Being a parent, I want to ask you, if I have a child who is mashallah doing wonders in academics, and apart from that she's excelling in sports as well. I have a child like that, by the way, that's what I'm saying.
Wow.
So you always, the parents are more supportive towards academics, क्योंकि बच्चे के साथ, especially लड़की के साथ बहुत duty देनी पड़ती है जब वो जाती है stadiums में for running and for building up staminas with the boys and everything. So parents have to be there कि लड़की अकेली ना जाए and all that. तो वो आपके लिए थोड़ा comfortable होता है. तो why your parents were like that कि academics में ज़्यादा ध्यान दो और sports को भी देखते जो साथ साथ चलाते जो, या were they equally acceptable?
I was lucky to grow up in an international environment. हर तरह के लोग and a lot of opportunities.
Right.
So where it comes to sports and also your overall 360 degree brought up in terms of your finishing, fine tuning, I was a very good artist.
अम्मा को ड्यूटी नहीं देनी पड़ी साथ जा
So Amma was sort of confused because I was flourishing as an artist actually. So I was a very good writer and I was doing really good oil painting and watercolors by the time I finished. But my father, he wanted me to be a mechanical engineer because he was a mechanical engineer and he knew that I could do calculus and physics.
Right.
So I wanted to make my father proud and my mother enjoyed that I had all this talent. And so I think when they saw that whatever put my focus to, I can excel in it, they just had one thing, okay, do everything. Do not miss a chance to do something here.
Great.
Because they had been brought up in Pakistan and they had seen कि नहीं मिलते
This
मौके.
sounds so good, Kanza. I mean, I will salute your parents कि जिन्होंने आपको ये नहीं कहा कि अच्छा ऐसे कर लो वैसे कर लो. You know,
Not at all.
normally parents are like that. So, mashallah, you're blessed to have such nice parents at your back.
I definitely am. And the teachers and everybody, you know, they took it as their responsibility, you know, to protect this child. Honestly, my teachers went to my parents, कि इस बच्चे को पाकिस्तान ना भेजो. You know, she should be in liberal arts, she should be this. But I wanted to do what would make my dad proud. And so I came into Ghulam Isa Khan, I did my mechanical engineering. There were almost no females there. The ratio was out. It was a very difficult terrain.
Ordered out, I mean, doing engineering, playing with numbers and everything. And after you are done with everything, was it difficult for you to survive in Pakistan because you had been through an entirely different setup and here the setup was
So
entirely
I'll have to be honest with you. I literally had a few breakdowns when I came here because everything was so different. Everything was so conceptual there.
Right now, I'm looking at Kanza like a parent. Whatever is coming to my mind is just like popping up.
I myself also have 2 kids, so I now understand everything more. And I might not have been able to give you this interview
Analysis
if I
of
had not been a parent myself. But before, you know, you become a little, you know, resistant. Why am I here? Why was I put here? There was a lot of, honestly, you know, in our system, there was a lot of rakta, there was a lot of, you know, advantage to people that were not. And I was the only one who was not from the system. Yeah, I'm a bahir se, I was the only one. I had done my SATs to fit into that situation. It was really difficult. And I think 2-3 years until I survived it. I must say.
Now, kids have survived that situation.
Yeah.
Now, what next? And you have so much on your plate. I mean, it was just like a buffet and you have to select one.
I think that when I graduated, that was a time when God took over. I really give now all the credit to, you know, Allah, because the plans He has for you, you just can't even imagine. And I went for my internships to AES Lalpi, to main jo hoon, you know, power plants is something I, you know, majored in also. So I was like, मैं power plants chadungi and I'll climb all these, wear the helmet, and I did that.
What the other people, whosoever they were around
Exactly.
you, and who was even who they were, your supervisors,
Exactly.
your group leaders,
Yeah.
weren't they scared कि इसको risky तो नहीं हो जाएगा साथ ले जाना ले जाए
They were so worried. They were so worried to take care of me, and you know, I give everyone across my journey. Mostly, it was just the apprehension of protection that is in our culture. So our culture is very wonderful that way. You know, we are brought up, and our religion also. You know, we're brought up to be protect and go, and you can't blame them because they had not seen a bandi who said, "Mujhe tower chadna hai. Mujhe tower kyun nahi aap chadne de rahe?" And I was told to break mein chade because you know otherwise you'll have an audience going, "Oh my God, what's going on in this plant all of a sudden?"
Looking at you and staring at you, and you're doing something else.
So I was like, "Fine, break mein chadungi. I have to do it. You know, it's something I really want to do." So I did the climbing, and I ended up being on annual reports and buildings ke upar bade banners.
Achieve something. Who is the first person you reflect back to immediately? अब जैसे ही कुछ बोलता है अभी इसको फोन करके फौरन बताती हूँ. I mean, who is that person?
Now it's my husband because you know he saw me struggle throughout. So I think we got married right after university. So I did not really have a lot of time without him. And of course, he really enjoys. He actually enjoys. बहुत different.
I can see a very good chemistry while you're talking about your husband. So I can relate that. Obviously.
He sees that her need to be different is actually very essential to her happiness. So वो बेचारे, he's always supported कि भाई अब क्या चाहिए around her. So he understood कि इसको तो हम रोक नहीं सकते या कुछ ज़्यादा अगर इसका दिमाग बना हुआ है कि I need to get there somehow.
So we have to be part and parcel.
So I'll just have to support her in achieving it. And I think the best thing is if somebody doesn't direct you and just lays, and that's what good leaders do as well. They lay out the resources and the protection you might need if you fail, and they let you at it. And it's okay to fail. The biggest thing we talk about now as leaders of other people is that it's okay to fail, because if you don't feel it's okay to fail, you'll never experiment, you'll never innovate, you'll never take risks.
You learn whenever something is wrong in your life. And so if you will become, right now you're working at a very, one of the very leading positions of one of the very renowned company. If you will be made MD of that particular company, what are you going to change?
That's a very difficult question, because I think our MD is doing a very good job. But I think a lot of companies, and you can say all of the multinationals, and I've gone through all of them. I had a very fortunate experience to go through, a cross-functional training, and which was shocking because I had all this talent, and I maybe did a very technical degree.
Any one specific thing? Let's make it more precise. That you say कि अच्छा I will be doing this.
So जैसे मुझे मौका मिला है, and when I had all this open talent and it was confined to maybe a very technical degree. So when I unleashed myself, I got a lot of cross-functional exposure. I got a lot of, and I sort of found out. I went into supply chain, I did the warehousing, I did logistics, I did planning, I went into sales, I went into shopper marketing, and I went into trade marketing. And all this has, grown me into maybe a good sales leader at the moment right now.
Right.
So I feel that if I was, in charge of any kind of people, I would want them not to change themselves. I think that's the first thing that really bothers me, that sometimes cultures really want you to be part and parcel. And then that causes you to lose.
You'll preserve the originality.
Yeah, the originality and the genuineness of a person, and what they want to say, they might just hold back. So I think uniqueness and a genuine person to shine the way they would shine. That would be the first thing. Offering them a lot of cross-functional and multi-dimensional experiences, projects. That would be the second thing. And third thing, to be very inclusive. And we're already doing that, and I think we're already at a journey of doing that. I would just accelerate and push that inclusiveness.
You'll serve as a catalyst.
I would.
Thank you so much, Kanza. It was lovely talking to you. Thank you so much.